Hi there, I'm Stacy, the Encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. If you are new around here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. This week is a painting video all about the Encaustic painting process, and I am painting a painting from start to finish. So enjoy! Good morning. Week 14 of Painting Your View coming at you. It is the middle of the week because I had to finish week 13, the beginning of this week. If you missed that video, it's up there somewhere. You can just click that link up there and that will take you to that video. So I am in the middle of the week now starting this painting, hoping again to get this done in a few days, but time will tell. I have a blank white panel to start with, and yeah, let's get started. Week 14. Okay, I did a really quick, rough sketch of the photo that I'm going to be painting this week, and I did that with these new pastels and Blick pastels and some alcohol. And so I'm going to let that dry, turn the wax on, but first, I don't know if you can see the state of this. I haven't cleaned up from week 13's painting, so I really need to get that cleaned up, and so I'm going to do that, and then I will pick you guys back up when I start putting wax on this. All right, so much better up here. Time to get the encaustic wax put on the painting. Good afternoon, guys. I've got the first several layers of wax on, and I just thought I would show you the setup for painting this painting. Okay, so here is the setup. I've got the two griddles, and I was just doing some paint swatches. So there's a little bit of wax on the one griddle, and then of course the clear encaustic medium here and the painting, along with a couple colors of wax that I'm thinking about using, and then of course more wax in these cigar boxes for me to finish rooting through and finalizing the colors. And then over here, I pulled the laptop over to have a better view of the photo I'm painting. So there you have it. Here is the setup. I'm starting out with those purple and gray colors because that's what I had on my palette already, and so why waste the paint? And then you'll see I mix my colors right on my palette or griddle. And this just allows me to mix several different colors. Some of them are store-bought, like this one you see here, and others are ones that I have made, like this yellow. But I mix the two right on the palette, or the colors right on the palette, along with some white that I have in those little tin containers over there. And that just allows me for a variety of colors. You will also see that I only have about 2 paintbrushes here, 3 if you include that one that's in the white, on the palette. So I don't have a paintbrush for each and every color. And this just, again, allows me to mix the colors right up there on the palette. If I get a little bit too much of one color on the paintbrush, I can just simply scrape it off on the side of the griddle to get a lot of that paint off. But I like that each color is kind of mixed in with the next color that I'm going to use. Allows for a lot of depth and variety in the paintings. And also less paintbrushes to purchase and buy and have sitting around in the studio. I think I say this in every video, but it's worth noting just in case you are new around here. But I fuse between each layer of wax with my torch, and my torch you can turn up real high or real low depending on the effect that I want. But you also have to make sure that everything is out of the way for fire safety reasons, because there is a flame coming out of the end of that torch. If you ever have any questions about my encaustic process or any of the tools I'm using or why I'm using them, just leave them down below in the comments. I'd be happy to answer any questions. But for now, I'm just going to let you sit back, watch this painting process, and listen to some lovely music. Painter's tape is my secret weapon when it comes to a straight horizon line. Of course, you have to put it on the right side of the painting for that to work out. But it's a great way to get a nice clean edge with the encaustic paint. And another tip is to brush in the opposite direction of the painter's tape. In other words, don't brush the paint right up against the paint, or the tape rather, so that you don't get the paint underneath the tape. And then also when you fuse, you want to fuse in the opposite direction of the painter's tape, which is why I flipped that around here. Once you have the first layer on, it's a lot easier. You can kind of paint in any direction because the wax is less likely to seep underneath that. But the first layer, it's important to go away from that painter's tape. You want to pull the painter's tape off when the wax is still a little bit warm, not too hot, but not too cold. If you pull it off when it's too cold, you have the opportunity to chip that wax off. If you pull it off when it's too warm, it will simply just seep underneath that painter's tape. So a little bit just warm, and you'll get the feeling for it once you've done it a couple times. And here is where I'm going to call it for the evening. This is what the painting looks like so far, but I will pick you guys back up in the morning. Good morning, guys. It is dark and dreary and quite rainy outside, but I am up in the studio. The wax has been turned on, and I am ready to hopefully finish this painting. So let's get to painting today. Starting where I left off yesterday, and that is along that rocky coastline area. And again, I'm just mixing the colors on my palette, lots of different blacks and grays and some really dark blues. And I know it's a little bit hard to see here because that area is so dark, but I have about maybe 3 to 5 different colors of blacks, grays, and blues, dark blues on there. So again, I'll let you sit back and watch this painting process. Want to add a little bit more interest to the water area and add like a hint of how water might sparkle. So I am using a white oil stick, and it's really hard to see here, but I'm filling in some of the little tiny crevices, if you will, in the water, and then I just wipe the excess away with a paper towel. Just a little added extra oomph to the painting, if you will. The last few layers in the painting, I do a lot of this. Standing back, looking at the painting, seeing what needs tweaked, and tweaking the area. Lots of little teeny tiny changes, just making sure every single area is perfect and exactly how I want it on the painting. After a few more minor tweaks, this painting, week 14, is complete. Get you a couple close-ups here of that texture. And the water. Thanks so much for coming along. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments down there. I'm happy to answer anything you have questions about. If you enjoyed this painting, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. If you are not subscribed and would consider doing so, that would also be very much appreciated. If you are subscribed but aren't getting notified every time I release a new video, which is usually on Tuesdays, but sometimes not, click that little bell down there. That's a notification bell, and that will notify you every time I release a new video. Again, thanks so much for coming along. We'll talk to you soon, and bye for now.